Hello, and welcome to the first installment of the CTG Risk Management Series. My name is Andrew Hazelwood. I'm the Sales and Outreach Director for the Caudell Thornquist Group. Thanks for joining me today. As my pal Ben put it, by failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail. There were over 300 violent incidents in the year 2018 alone. FEMA also noted that 60% of American adults have no idea what to do in the event of emergency. What will you or your team do in a worst-case scenario? Do you have an evacuation plan in place? Does everyone know what it is? Now, what will you do after the emergency? For the church leaders joining us today, the question may be asked, where will we hold service on Sunday? Or, where will the kids go for the after-school programming that your nonprofit provides? What impact could a potential loss have on achieving your mission? This is what we need to determine, and once we do, there are ways we can manage the exposure to risk. Risk management is the proactive prevention of risk. Now, there are 4 ways that we can manage risk. You can avoid it altogether. You can retain it, transfer it, which is your insurance policy, or you can control it. You first have to determine what is the potential risk of the activity or program you're wanting to provide. Will the benefit of that program or ministry have a greater impact than the risk of a loss? If no, let's go back to the drawing board and find something a little bit safer. If the answer is yes, though, let's keep going. By retaining risk, you are assuming all of or a portion of a loss. You can do this intentionally by having a deductible on your insurance plan, for example. This could also be done unintentionally by forgetting to add a piece of property to your coverage, which brings us to transferring risk. Transferring risk is your insurance plan. By purchasing a plan or policy, you are transferring the financial burden of a loss to that policy. You won't have to pay the full replacement costs to rebuild your home, center, or church, aside from just your deductible, of course. You could also transfer risk by having participants sign waivers or hold harmless agreements. If you need a sample waiver, please see the resources tab on our website for a free download. Controlling risk. By educating or training your staff or volunteers, you could potentially prevent a loss from happening. This is called loss prevention. It is also possible to reduce the impact of a loss by installing an alarm or sprinkler system, for example. You may be already controlling risk without even realizing it. Some other ways to do so include having a statement of beliefs or bylaws, ensuring that your operations follow all laws and legal guidelines, not only documenting all of your policies, practices, and procedures, but making sure they're reviewed at least annually. Of course, training and continued education, whether it be by situational training or sending your staff members individually to a seminar or a training course. Ultimately, without adequate personnel training, a claim could be considered negligence. To recap, it's not possible to avoid all risk. It's everywhere. It is possible to control or mitigate it, though. Keep your policies, practices, and procedures current, and keep your people educated with regular and continuous training. As Spencer best put it, maximizing risk management effectively minimizes risks. If you have any questions, comments, or would like more information on creating and implementing a risk management plan, please reach out via phone, email, or social media. Thanks again for joining me today.